Three Syrian army fighters armed with assault rifles man a series of checkpoints leading into Haram.
We are in Syria, we understand there are risks, but people were scared because they didn't know what was going on.
I'm standing here in front of a mosque that was bombed several months ago.
Jesus.
Good. Covering the war in Syria has become one of the world's most dangerous jobs. Knowing this, I took up the assignment. My journey, along with the South African medical team, led us to a rebel-held town in northern Syria. Under the banner of the Gift of the Givers Foundation, we were based at the Darkush Hospital for 10 days, a fully functioning facility which has become a beacon for the sick and wounded. More than half of Syria's hospitals have been damaged in the country's bitter civil war, and nearly one-third are out of service, making it difficult for people to get medical care. In many areas, supplies are low. The medical team came to Syria knowing that their services were desperately needed, but it was never going to be an easy mission.
I think I have to.
We all had to work under very stressful conditions. Rebels armed with assault rifles were all around, and the sound of gunfire kept us all on our toes. Sporadic explosions were also an incessant reminder of an ever-present danger. What made them all the more frightening was that we really had no idea just how far we were from danger.
Okay, I say no.
News had spread that foreign doctors were in town and the hospital was buzzing with activity. Among the many patients the doctors treated was little Mohammed. Mohammed's mother spent day after day by her son's bedside. The boy was hit by shrapnel in his abdomen. His story broke my heart. His pain became mine, and as I spoke to his doctor that first night, my eyes welled up. There were heart-wrenching stories waiting to be told in every corner of the hospital. Down the hall in the men's ward, Zakaria Al-Hulu was recovering. He had been brought to the hospital with 3 other men after their home was shelled. Many of the people I spoke to told me they remained vulnerable to airstrikes and artillery. One of the towns damaged by heavy fighting is less than an hour's drive from Darkush. Rebels gained control of Haram in late December last year, but for months after the rebels captured it, the town was bombarded by airstrikes. Those who fled their homes during fighting in places like Haram are now being housed in refugee camps in neighboring countries. At least 3 million people are believed to be internally displaced. Thousands are living here at the Atma camp near the Turkish border. Safe from airstrikes, but living in squalor. We arrived here on a rainy Friday afternoon. The doctors to dispense medicine, the journalists to report. From inside a makeshift mosque, doctors attended to dozens of desperate people. During their 10-day stint, doctors treated hundreds of patients at the hospital and carried out life-changing surgeries. The journalists, with notebooks, cameras and voice recorders, our role was to tell those stories so that ordinary Syrians who have for too long felt ignored by the rest of the world finally have a voice. The doctors here have mixed feelings about leaving, but it's day 10 of the mission and it's time for the South African doctors to go home. Rahima Essop, Eyewitness News, Darkush, Syria.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.